Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Go English. I'm Mizu.
And I'm Lucas. It's so nice to see you again. If you're learning English with us today, you're in the right place.
Yes, we're really happy you're here learning with us. Lucas, let me ask you something.
Uh-huh.
Do you remember the last time you met someone new?
Good question. Actually, yes. Just a few days ago, I met a new neighbor in my building.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we were both waiting for the elevator, and we just started talking. First, we said hello, then we introduced ourselves, and suddenly we had a nice little conversation.
See, sometimes meeting someone new can be very simple.
Yeah, but sometimes it can also feel a little awkward, especially if you don't know what to say.
That's true. So let us ask you something. When you meet someone new, do you feel excited?
Or do you feel a little nervous?
Tell us in the comments.
We'd really love to hear your experience.
Because today,
We're going to learn real English expressions people use,
when meeting someone for the first time,
simple,
natural.
and very useful in real life.
All right, everyone.
Let's go. All right, imagine this. You're at a coffee shop, waiting for your drink, and you meet someone new.
That happens a lot, actually.
Yeah, it does. So let's listen to a real-life conversation.
Just listen first and feel the conversation.
Ready?
Let's go.
Hi there.
Oh, hi.
Nice to meet you. I'm Lucas.
Nice to meet you, too. I'm Anna.
Hi, Anna. So, is this seat taken?
No, not at all. Go ahead.
Thanks. Are you waiting for your coffee too?
Yeah, this place is always busy.
Yeah, that's true. So, where are you from?
I'm from Korea. I just moved here a few months ago.
Oh, really? That's cool. Do you like it here so far?
Yeah, I do. People are very friendly.
That's good to hear. So, what do you do?
I'm a graphic designer. I work for a small company here.
Oh, nice. That sounds interesting.
What about you? What do you do?
I'm an English teacher.
Oh, wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, I love helping people learn English.
That's really cool.
See?
That's a very simple conversation.
But this is real English people use every day.
Next, let's look at some expressions from this conversation.
And we'll show you how to use them naturally.
All right, Lucas. In that conversation earlier, you used some expressions people hear all the time in real life.
That's right, Mizu. These are the kinds of things people say when they meet someone for the first time.
And the good news, Lucas.
They're actually very simple. So let's take a look at them together. All right, Mizu, the first one is a classic. Nice to meet you.
Exactly. People say this when they meet someone for the first time.
For example, hi, I'm Lucas. Nice to meet you.
And the other person might smile and say, nice to meet you too.
Sometimes people say something a little shorter as well. Nice meeting you.
Yeah, Lucas, both are completely natural.
You'll hear this everywhere. At work, at a party, even when you meet a new neighbor.
All right, Lucas, imagine this situation. You say hello, but you don't know the person's name yet.
That happens all the time. So you can simply ask, "What's your name?"
For example, hi, what's your name?
And the person might answer, "My name is Daniel."
Or something even more natural, I'm Daniel.
Yeah, native speakers often say, "I'm Lucas," instead of "My name is Lucas."
Another very common question, Mizu. Where are you from?
People usually ask this when they meet someone new.
For example, where are you from?
I'm from Korea.
Sometimes people say something slightly different. I'm originally from Korea.
which usually means you were born there, but maybe you live somewhere else now.
Exactly, Mizu.
Okay, Lucas, let me ask you something.
Uh-huh.
If someone asks you, what do you do? Are they asking what you're doing right now?
That's a great question, Mizu. No, they're not asking about this exact moment. They're asking about your job.
Exactly. For example, so Lucas, what do you do?
I'm an English teacher.
Simple, clear, and very natural.
You'll hear this question all the time in English conversations.
This one happens a lot when you meet someone through friends.
Right, Lucas. For example, imagine you meet someone at a party,
You might ask, "How do you know Sam?"
and the person might say, "Oh, we work together."
Or, "We went to school together."
Or even, "We're neighbors."
It's just a friendly way to understand how people are connected.
Lucas, this is a great small talk question.
Very natural. For example, if you're at a cafe, you could ask, "Is this your first time here?"
And the person might say, "Yeah, it is."
Or, "No, I come here a lot."
It's a simple question, but it's a great way to start a conversation.
Another question you'll hear quite often. What brings you here?
In other words, why did you come here?
For example, what brings you here tonight?
Someone might answer, "I came with a friend."
Or, I just moved to the city.
Or maybe, "I work nearby."
This question really helps open the door to more conversation.
Here's another natural question, Lucas.
Do you live around here?
For example, do you live around here?
Yeah, I live about 10 minutes away.
Or someone might say, "No, I live in another part of the city."
Again, very simple, but extremely natural in real life. Now, let's talk about reactions.
Because good conversations are not only about asking questions.
You also respond to what people say.
For example, "I just moved here last month."
You could respond like this. Oh, that's good to know.
It shows that you're listening.
And that you're interested in the conversation.
Now imagine the conversation is coming to an end.
Maybe you need to leave.
Or your coffee is ready.
So you might politely say, "It was nice talking to you."
And the other person might reply, "Nice talking to you too."
Or simply, "See you around."
Very friendly. Very natural. So you see, Lucas?
These expressions are very simple
But they help you start
and continue.
a real conversation.
Next, Mizir.
Let's look at some natural reactions and small talk that help keep the conversation going.
All right, so now you know some great questions to ask when meeting someone new.
But conversations are not only about asking questions.
Exactly. You also need reactions.
Because if someone talks and you just stay quiet,
That feels a little awkward.
yeah, conversations should feel alive.
So, let's look at some very natural reactions. These are things native speakers say all the time.
Imagine someone says, "I just moved here last month."
You can react by saying, "Oh, really?"
It shows you are interested.
And usually the person will continue talking. For example, "Oh, really? How do you like the city so far?" Another very common reaction is, "That's cool."
For example, "I work as a graphic designer."
"That's cool. What kind of design do you do?"
See?
One reaction and then a question.
And the conversation keeps going.
This one is fun. "No way."
People say this when they are surprised.
For example, "I just ran my first marathon last weekend."
"No way! That's amazing!"
It shows excitement.
Imagine someone says, "I went hiking last weekend."
You can say, "That sounds fun."
It's a very friendly reaction.
And it encourages the person to keep sharing.
Now here's a little secret.
Good conversations don't stop after one sentence.
You can ask small follow-up questions.
For example, someone says, "I work at a coffee shop."
You can ask, "Do you like it?"
Or maybe, is it busy?
Or, how long have you been there?
Simple questions like these make conversations feel natural. Let's try a quick example.
Okay.
I just started a new job last week.
Oh, really? Do you like it so far?
Yeah, I do. The people are really friendly.
That's cool. What do you do there?
See? Just a few reactions,
And a few small questions.
and suddenly you have a real conversation. Tip.
Here's an important tip,
Small talk may seem simple.
but it helps people feel comfortable.
You don't need perfect English.
Just be friendly
Ask simple questions.
and react naturally.
Next.
Let's see a short role-play conversation.
And this time,
We'll use many of the expressions you just learned.
All right, Mizu. So we just looked at a lot of useful expressions.
Right, Lucas. But the best way to really understand them is to hear them in a real conversation.
Exactly. So let's do a quick mini role play.
This will sound like a very natural conversation between two people meeting for the first time.
And as you listen, try to notice the expressions we just learned.
All right, Lucas, let's try it. Hi there. I don't think we've met before.
Hi. Yeah, I think you're right. Nice to meet you. I'm Lucas.
Nice to meet you too, Lucas. I'm Mizu.
Nice to meet you, Mizu. So, how do you know Sam?
Oh, Sam and I used to work together a few years ago. She's a really good friend of mine. What about you, Lucas?
Sam and I actually went to college together. We've known each other for a long time.
Oh, really? That's nice.
Yeah. So, Mizu, what do you do?
I'm a graphic designer. I work for a small design studio here in the city.
That's cool, Mizu. Design sounds like a really creative job.
Thanks, Lucas. What about you? What do you do?
I'm an English teacher. I help people learn English for work and travel.
Oh, wow, Lucas. That sounds really interesting.
Thanks, Mizu. By the way, where are you from?
I'm originally from Australia, but I moved here about 6 years ago.
Oh, really? Do you like living here so far?
Yeah, I do. People are very friendly, and there are so many great places to explore.
That's great to hear, Mizu. See?
That's a simple conversation.
But it feels very natural.
And you can use these expressions almost anywhere.
At a party,
At work.
or even at a coffee shop.
All right, Mizu. That conversation sounded very natural, right?
Yes, Lucas. And the good news is that you don't need very complicated English to have a friendly conversation.
Exactly, Mizu. Sometimes a few small habits can make your conversation feel much more comfortable.
So let's share a few real-life tips that can help when you meet someone new.
First tip, Mizu, something very simple.
Smile when you meet someone.
That's true, Lucas. A smile makes you look friendly and open even before you say anything.
Right. Imagine someone says hello, but they look serious and don't smile.
That might feel a little uncomfortable.
But if they smile and say, "Hi, nice to meet you," the conversation already feels easier.
Exactly, Lucas. A small smile can make a big difference. Now, here's another helpful tip, Lucas.
Uh-huh.
Ask simple questions.
Yes, Mizu. You don't need complicated questions to start a conversation. For example, you can ask things like, "Where are you from?" or "What do you do?"
Or even something very simple like, "Is this your first time here?"
Right. Simple questions help the other person talk more, and the conversation flows naturally. And here's another important tip, Mizu. Don't stay silent when someone shares something.
Exactly, Lucas. Good conversations have reactions.
For example, if someone says, "I just started a new job,"
You can respond with something simple like, "Oh, nice."
or that's interesting.
These small reactions show that you are listening and interested.
And when people feel that you're listening, they usually feel more comfortable talking with you.
So remember, Lucas,
Smile
ask simple questions.
and react to what people say.
These small things can help you have a very natural conversation.
And you don't need perfect English to do that.
All right, everyone.
Now it's your turn to practice with us.
All right, Mizu, now it's time for our favorite part.
Oh, yes, Lucas. This is the moment when everyone watching can practice speaking with us.
Exactly, Mizu. Don't just listen. Try to say the sentences out loud with us.
That's right, Lucas. Speaking out loud helps your brain remember the language much faster.
So wherever you are right now, maybe at home, maybe on the bus, or even taking a break at work.
Just repeat after us.
All right, Mizu, let's start with the first one.
Okay, Lucas. Everyone ready? Repeat after us. Nice to meet you.
Great. One more time together. Nice to meet you. All right, Mizu, here comes the next one. What's your name?
Good. Try saying it one more time with Lucas. What's your name? Now let's try another common question, Lucas. Where are you from?
Nice. Say it again with us. Where are you from? Okay, Mizu, this is a question you'll hear a lot. What do you do?
Very good. Let's repeat it one more time together. What do you do? Now imagine you meet someone at a party, Lucas. You might ask, how do you know Sam?
Nice. Let's say it again. How do you know Sam? All right, Mizu, here's another small talk question. Is this your first time here?
Great job! Let's repeat it together one more time. Is this your first time here? Okay, Lucas, here comes another natural question. What brings you here?
Nice. Say it again with us. What brings you here? All right, Mizu, this is another very common question. Do you live around here?
Great! One more time, everyone. Do you live around here? Now let's practice a friendly reaction, Lucas. That's good to know.
Perfect. Let's say it together one more time. That's good to know. And finally, Mizu, here's a polite way to end a conversation. It was nice talking to you.
Very nice. Let's say it one last time together. It was nice talking to you.
Great job, everyone.
Yes, Lucas, if you said those sentences out loud, you just practiced real English for real conversations.
And remember, the more you say these expressions, the more natural they will feel.
Exactly, Lucas. Practice a little every day and speaking English will become much easier. All right, Lucas. Before we finish today's lesson, let's ask our viewers a quick question.
That's a great idea, Misu. We always love hearing real stories from our learners.
So here's our question for you. When was the last time you met someone new?
Maybe it was a new coworker.
A new neighbor, or even someone you met at a coffee shop.
And another question for you.
Uh-huh.
When you met that person, did you feel a little nervous or did you feel comfortable and relaxed?
That's a good question, Misu. Everyone has a different experience.
So tell us your story.
Write your answer in the comments below.
Yes, we really enjoy reading your comments and learning about your experiences.
And sometimes your stories can help other learners feel more confident too. All right, Mizu, before we go, let's quickly review what we learned today.
Good idea, Lucas. Today we learned how to introduce ourselves when meeting someone new.
We also practiced how to ask simple and friendly questions.
And most importantly, Lucas, we learned how to keep a conversation going naturally.
Exactly, Mizu. You don't need complicated grammar to have a real conversation.
Sometimes a few simple expressions are more than enough.
And remember, everyone, the best way to learn English is through real conversations, not memorization.
Practice a little every day, Stay curious, and don't be afraid to talk to new people.
All right, everyone. If you enjoyed learning with us today, don't forget to like this video.
And subscribe to Go English for more real-life English lessons.
Thanks so much for learning with us today.
See you in the next lesson.
Bye, everyone.